everyone. Welcome to the Hollywood Dreams podcast. This is your host, Santi. I'm here with my friend Dave. How are you, Dave?
I'm good, Santi. How are you?
I'm doing just great, man. It's a nice Saturday morning where I'm at. It's a nice 75 degrees, so I couldn't be better. And now that I'm talking with you guys, even better. So today we got a great guest for you guys. We got Dick Qwarfort from the Nasty Idols, one of the best bands to come out of Sweden back in the 80s and 90s. Hey, Dick, how are you?
Hello there in Spain. How's the weather?
Well, I'm not actually in Spain. I'm in Argentina.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm a bit more far
Good
away.
opening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing all right, man. And it's the weather is awesome. The weather is awesome, and yeah. Now that I'm talking with you guys, I'm having like I'm sure we're gonna have a great time. Um, so what are you up to, man? It's been a long time since we heard from you musically. What are you working on?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not an official musician anymore. I'm mostly writing books and do illustrations.
Oh, nice,
That's my prime thing now.
When
nice,
you
nice.
when you say illustrations, you doing comic books or are you doing like graphic novels? What are you doing?
Yeah, graphic novels, and I just finished a film with documentary illustration about one of Sweden's rock stars. Is called Kolpedal. Only famous in Sweden though. But I
Mhm.
made those illustration for that.
Cool.
So that
That's
was
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. And you said you were writing books. Anything? Did you publish anything already, or are you just
yeah,
still
yeah, yeah,
working
yeah,
on?
yeah. Three books. One, The Witch in the Underground, and one is it's spooky there. It's on Swedish, and all of the monsters, and it's on what do you call it, verse, so you can rhyme. That's
Okay.
good because I've been writing songs all my life and lyrics. So I thought, why don't I do a monster book with rhymes for kids? And it was a real success. I won
Yeah.
a prize for it in Sweden.
Oh,
Wow,
well, congrats.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Very
congratulations.
cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nice.
I, are you still are you just focused on like kid material or do you do like adult horror too or is it
No,
just
adult as well. Adult as well. That movie I was doing that was for adult audience, not adult like it was in the 70s, but more grown up.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Nice. We Dave and I we love horror, so we'll definitely check that out.
yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Nice. And all right. Uh, I got one question for you. Have you heard the latest Skid Row album?
Not the album, but I heard some songs, and I think Eric is a super replacement for Sebastian.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and yeah. I mean, he's a great singer. I've been following him since he was in Heat, and yeah, definitely. I mean, Sebastian is of course is a legend, but I mean, Eric's just a great. I think it's the best replacement that you could find.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I follow him since he was a kid. He won this what do you call it?
Swedish Idol?
Swedish, yeah.
Yeah, Swedish Idol. He won that with Run to the Hills
Oh yeah, I saw
and other
his
Skid Row
audition.
songs, and he got this super voice. So no, super.
Yeah,
It's very
I
good.
I, I
Amazing.
remember he did his audition to that in with the song 18 and Life, and
Yeah,
I remember seeing that on the internet like in 2008, 2009, something like that. It went like kind of viral, and it was amazing. I mean, you could tell that the guy had chops. I mean,
yeah, had a future in it. Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't understand anything the judges were saying. Of course, it was all in Swedish, but I could tell by their faces that it was that the mouth just dropped when he
Yeah.
just let out that scream at the end of 18 Alive. It's crazy.
And
And it's so cool. They had in Swedish Idol they had that range that they could take a techno song, a pop singer, a R&B singer, whatever, and a heavy metal singer, and they understand. Hey, you got a future in this business, so they don't know he sings hard rock. Fuck him, but they really understand the meaning of it.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
jury,
yeah,
So so
and he's one of those. His story is an amazing story after going through
yeah,
leukemia and
mm,
everything, and having this monster success, and even here in the United States, I think that album, this new Skid Row album was last I checked was number 14 on the Billboard Top 200 albums chart, and Skid Row hasn't charted on that chart since 1991. So I mean that says something,
yeah.
that says something
yeah.
New
Yeah.
blood is good.
for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome, awesome. All right, so let's stop talking about someone else and let's go back to talking about you, Dick. So, all right, so Nessie Isles is one of those bands that I always liked. I always heard. I've always like listened to their songs and this like here and there, and I always found you guys really interesting how you mixed like your first album is more melodic and the second one is full sleaze like Skid Row LA Gun style, and the other albums get a more mature sound. I always find your albums really interesting in that way, like you change your style over the years, and so you're founding members, and what how did the band got started?
Well, I've been playing in I think four bands, but they didn't accomplish anything. So, and Andy and I went to the same school.
Okay.
And after I done the military, I thought it's time to make some real good music, but with 100%. So, and he wanted the same. So we took the best musicians from my old bands and the best musician from his old band and put them together. And then you got the Nasty House. Nasty House, they um, they called Nasty House before, but they were more glam punk and didn't accomplish anything. And we always wanted to change the name to something else, but we couldn't. We didn't. We couldn't get any better. So for the name, so we stuck with that.
Okay.
So yeah. And
Well,
we we just we played and played and played, and we didn't have a record deal, so we made a tour flyer and posted it to every record company, every club, every place festival that we could play on, and they thought we were the biggest thing after Europe. They didn't
yeah.
know we didn't have a record deal, but they thought. So we played at those places, and when we did, then we got a record deal. So we got the other way.
Yeah, well, I
And
mean,
actually,
you gotta.
in our home town Malmo, they thought we were so big, so we played the top line on the rock scene, and we haven't played uh,
That, that's
together.
awesome.
We had only existed in the 3 months, and we were headlining.
Well, I mean, you gotta fake it till you make it, man. It's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
just fill the balloon. But when the balloon was destroyed, so it was filled with everything. So yeah, we managed.
That's awesome. So you see, you released your first album back in '87. So uh, and the sound is totally different to your other albums.
Yeah,
What was
yeah. We're trying to do this Bon Jovi Europe shit. We nothing's wrong with them, but that was the flavor that time. So, but when we started, both Andy and I, we were punks. We liked ranchy raw music, but
yeah,
we put on the keyboards just to make some money and things like that. But after that album, no, we gotta get back to basics, and we
yeah.
did.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, there's a lot of good songs though on that album that I like. Shy China, for example, I really like that
Yeah,
song.
I made that.
Well. Let me tell you, that's one of my favorite songs for your band. So it's a great
Cool.
song. I hear some Hanoi rocks in there as well. I don't know if you agree with that or that style, like Jet Boy, Hanoi rocks. I hear a little bit of that on that album.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Um, but yeah, I think of course for your second album, Cruel Intentions, that's when you guys really uh rocketed, like you went worldwide with that one, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you also had a couple of videos like on MTV.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We made videos and we were in England 1991 to promote it. So
Mm-hmm.
we were on Super Channel. We got in contact with the Kerrang. We gave us a 4 out of 5, and we
Nice.
didn't get to meet Vanessa though because it was some clash of time. But so when, when we send it to MTV, yeah, they're just gonna show the video and everybody's gonna forget it. But that show, they started to introduce the whole show with Nasty Idols. And she had this whole story about us with, oh shit, now we're going to break. And on they said that Sundays in Europe. And on Monday, the
Mm-hmm.
telephones got busy and we got calls from everywhere. So that was the
Awesome.
big break, playing a cool way of living on the MTV on Headbangers Ball.
Nice. That's awesome. So, all right. So, I want to know how was the scene? How was the scene back in the day in Sweden? Because all of these, Dave from America, me from Argentina. Sweden is really far away for us. So I know that seems kind of exotic to us. So how was the scene? I mean, some of the best bands in the world came from Sweden, and they're still coming with a lot of great bands nowadays. So I don't know. Europe arguably might be the biggest hard rock band to come out of the Europe, maybe in the world back in the day. Uh, I mean, there were some amazing bands. So, what was the scene like? Was it like full of like LA in style, like full of bands, or was camaraderie between the band? How would you describe it?
No, no, that's a, you can describe it as that, but uh, Sweden isn't that big. LA is very big. So if we got Nasdaq was top of the notch in Malmo, and in Gothenburg we got the Swedish erotica, and in Stockholm we got glorious bank robbers and things like
Oh
that. So on
yeah,
that
yeah, it's a
line.
great band.
So every town had a
Like the
lead
band.
sleaze band. Sleaze, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay, nice.
So,
And
but everybody know didn't know each other. So if some Gothenburg band come play at our home club, we party with them, and if we get to Gothenburg, it's same, and Stockholm and like that. So yeah, it was cool.
nice. So you mentioned you did play the UK. So, did you guys ever consider going to the US, like for try your luck there?
No, because you already got the Motley Crew and Skid Row, and so it was now. We stayed in Scandinavia and Europe for that.
You get yeah, your
Yeah,
local
if they
boys still
if they
yeah.
should gave us a contract, then it was some would be something else.
Mhm.
But it was really hard competition. It really was.
Did you guys get to tour the United States at all? Did you get to play any shows out
No,
there?
no, no,
Nothing.
not at all.
Right. All right. So, uh, okay. So the third album is called Vicious, right? Or
Yeah,
so that's also just kind of different. Were you guys trying to adapt to the change in the sound, like in the '90s?
yeah. We tried to get harder and harder for every album we did. So
Mm.
yeah, yeah. What can I say? We everybody what's the name? Try to
Yeah. Sound.
evolve more. Yeah.
1993, the music industry was completely turned upside down with
Yeah,
the
it was with this grunge thing. Yeah.
and
So
every
we had difficulties to get the air time because Nirvana and Pearl Jam and all of those was taking our slots because that was the new craze.
Right. Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah,
yeah, it is hard for everyone, and
yeah,
I guess Sweden was no different. And but you guys still have a pretty big hard rock scene, I would say. I mean, the last 15 years, you can say it's been Sweden's been the epicenter of a revival of the hard rock
yeah,
sound.
absolutely, absolutely.
there's
And the
a lot
cool
of great
cool
bands
thing
coming out
is
of that
that
now.
yeah, what do you say?
There's a lot of great bands coming out of that area now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing when Crash died at the break, everybody turned their eyes on us and thought we
Mm,
were the originals.
right.
And then Sweden Rock, and then we didn't play then. So and the singer called me, hey, Dick, guess who called? I don't know. Sweden Rock. They want us to play there with the most um, anticipated band who's gonna reunite. Everybody wants to see us, but. So what? So we have one I think 5 months to rehearse and get into shape, everyone, and play on Sweden Rock. So that was really cool. I don't know if you have seen the videos from there when we're playing.
I've seen a few videos, and yeah, it's. I mean, playing again after all that time. As I mean, you guys sounded great. Just for a band that hasn't played together in I don't know how many years, but uh, definitely it was a great comeback. And let me tell you, we were talking about this before you joined, Dick. I think the albums that you put out after you guys reunited are even better than the albums that you released originally. I think Nasty Owls is a rare case in the sense that when a lot of bands like break up and then come and then reunite again and release an album, most of the times that album is not as good as as their prior efforts. But in your case, I think you guys got even better with the years. Like
Well, thank you, thank you.
yeah, it's crazy because you guys sound like a young, hungry for fame band, like just like back in the day. It's not like you didn't change your sound at all. You got it even more aggressive, more sleazy, more. It's more hard. You play harder. I mean, it's great, especially the album California. I think that's an amazing album. I love this. I love the song "Night by Night." I think that's a really cool song on that album.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
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 And then the studio when we did the Cruel Intention and Vicious, it was another thing to play in the studio. Now you can just almost make it yourself. And if you're in the studio now, it sounds super great because all the samples and the things you got on the drums and well, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, of course.
another vibe of the sound when you're recording now than it was back in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely got easier for bands to record, and you can now do it from your home. You don't need to have a major label behind you or something like that. At the same time, it's
No, yeah,
harder.
you're right. Right.
Ironically, I think it's harder to get recognized because of the amount, just the sheer amount of people and bands releasing stuff on the internet. But at the same time, so it's easier on one aspect and harder on the other one, I think. There's
Right.
yeah. So oh, I don't know how if you've been involved in any way in this new wave of Swedish sleaze bands. But what what would you say is your favorite band? Which one is your favorite band from all these bands that came out in the last 15 years out of Sweden?
Must be Crash Diet.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they started it all. I think
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
kickstarted that
I was
whole.
just listening to their latest album this morning.
That's a good one. I mean, they changed a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of their first album. I think Dave Leppard was a great singer.
Mhm.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
The
The band with
yeah,
the four singers.
yeah. They change. It seems like they change their singers for every album.
Every album.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the deal with that? But well, whatever, right? But yeah, uh,
Well, we know what the deal is with one, but everybody
yeah.
else
They
is
must.
kind of.
So
Yeah.
I was a fan of Simon Cruz as well. I thought that that album was one of the best ones they released, and I thought that they had perfected the sound at the time. It's a shame.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a shame that they disbanded after that, but I don't know. I'm a huge fan of Crazy Licks as well. Got most of their albums.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but yeah, this
Yeah,
definitely.
we play with Crazy Legs. There were our openings for many times in Sweden, England, and so we they were on our tour. So, but you know
Nice.
that, I suppose.
Yeah, sure, but I'd love to. So, what was your experience and getting back together after all those years? Was it weird for you, or did you feel right at home being back in the band?
Right at home, right at home, just like the club. Well, now we start again, just like that. It wasn't any. No, it felt perfect. So
Nice.
just like you had so much more to give, especially when the new sleaze era was starting. Oh, we can do much better than this.
Did
We
you
gotta
know?
show those upstarts who the gods are.
Did you guys take a different approach to your songwriting later on, or
Well,
was it basically was it just like the same thing?
no, actually not. In the back in the days, we had a rehearsal, and everybody putting in their well, Vedo, well, what do you call? But now on the two last albums, Andy and I was show. I come home to Andy uh, every Friday night, and we made the songs there. So we had an idea, and we played it. So we stay there, a couple of beers, and made the songs there. And
Nice.
sometimes we play. We told the guitarist we want to cool intro here with because he's very skilled. So
Mhm.
just we want that. Can you do that? Oh yes, of course. So he got his input, but the whole core of the song we made in Andy's apartment.
Oh, did you guys get approached to do any like festivals or anything after you guys reunited?
Oh yeah, lots of them in
Yeah.
Italy, in England, in Sweden. Yeah, that's a lot,
Nice.
lots of them.
Yes.
Oh,
And did you ever consider releasing again your original albums, like
I get
reissuing?
back to that. I get back to that because there are people who want to do it, but well, we see because there's so much paperwork and things with
Yeah,
it. So we see.
yeah. It'd be great to have those early albums on vinyl. That's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
I'd definitely have them in my collection if I could.
Yeah, I mean, they are great albums, definitely, and they're really hard to find nowadays.
Are
So yeah,
they?
they are. I mean, at least where I am, I don't know about you, Dave, but I think it must be the same.
Nancy, you know how
Uh,
I am, man. If I could find an album, I'll find it. And
yeah, it's
um,
hard. I bet it's easier in Europe, but at least in America and Argentina, it's not easy.
it's a bit difficult,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well,
at least on vinyl.
I do have Boys Town and California on CD, but the first ones, those are really hard to find. So I would definitely be buying a reissue of those albums if they ever come out.
Well, here I'll just give Dick a little flavor of what Nasty Idols stuff is going for right now. I just looked
Yeah.
up the CD. This now we're talking CD for Cruel Intention. It's going for $66. That's the cheapest one. 66.
Yeah,
Oh man,
So now let's
cool.
see now vinyl. Let's see.
it only
Uh,
came out in Sweden, like on vinyl, I think.
No,
yeah,
no, no, no. In all
No,
Europe, we
oh,
we
all
we,
Europe.
we had
Okay.
a record company in Deutschland in Germany, a Black Mark, who released it too.
Oh,
So
okay, nice.
there's so many, and we got a Zero in Japan.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
that's
quite a
a
few
So
vinyl on here. There's
that's a
one going for 120, and that's U.S. dollars.
hundred and
shit,
twenty
man.
dollars. Well, well, people are definitely
I want
seeking them out.
percentage of that.
Well, yeah, you can see. So people are definitely going after them. So yeah, I think
Yeah, you.
it would.
It's out there. They're out
I
there.
think it's the moment
Cool.
to do it. All right. So yeah,
How do you feel about this whole revival of the scene that is kind of happening right now? A lot of younger people are getting into the music, like we were talking earlier. Skid Row are back on charts all over the world, not just the country, but all over the world. Um, how do you feel about that? Looking back at when you look at all that,
No, that's cool. Everything got in cycles. It always does. So
yeah.
soon you're gonna have a new grunge uh, thing. So it's always come to cycles. Always, always, and I like it. I like Skid Row. Always did. So
well, I mean, it's not just Skid Row. I mean, you've had
no, I
you
mean everyone. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I mean, you get success with a lot of these bands. A lot of people, especially obviously with the music, it doesn't. They don't make the money like they used to on the music alone. You got to do a lot of merchandising and touring. But you got bands and I know a lot of these bands are probably touring to survive. Um, but still, I mean, they're out there doing it, and the the stadium tour was hugely successful here in the United States, and now they're taking
yeah.
that over, onto the European side of everything. So, I mean, I'm glad to see that people are starting to pay attention to this music again. I mean, it definitely is good to see.
Hmm. No,
And
Yeah, absolutely.
a lot of you guys deserve a lot of you guys deserve the praise that you did not get back in the day. Either you know, some bands like you guys came out. You guys kind of came out like right in the heart of it all, but you were
Mm.
still by the time uh, the first two records came out, the scene was already kind of fading away in a way. But
Yeah,
um,
it was. It was.
yeah, because I think you guys had it been maybe a few years earlier, you guys probably would have been, you know, probably would have had a lot more success wise and probably would have got a lot more push by the record labels.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we should have a label in Stockholm because the media is concentrate always on Stockholm, and thought that every both Gothenburg and Malmo was well those peasants. So yeah, it really was. It was. So
but you
if
never,
we link,
you never consider moving to Stockholm then.
never. We're from
Never.
Skåne. We will always be that.
Okay, you're loyal. That's good. That's good.
That is.
Did you guys ever cross paths with the black metal guys ever in that whole
No, 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 no. We don't have many black metal guys in Malmo
I was
at
kind of
all.
wondering, like in LA, you kind of had like San Francisco was like the thrash area, and then you had Hollywood was like the glam area, and then once in a while that they would kind of
Yeah, you mean that? Yeah, yeah, like that. No, no, the black metal was in Norway.
Oh
that
yeah.
it was all more yeah, okay, yeah, more Norway.
Yeah,
So you guys
burning
No,
that a
churches
lot.
and things.
but
Oh.
yeah. So Norway also had quite a few glam bands. I know Stage Dolls come to mind, for example.
Mhm.
Do you guys had like there was like a competition between the countries, or was it like all in good peace with it? All in good
No,
faith?
no, no, not at all. Everybody had their own style,
Yeah.
really. So we toured in Norway, and in the home where we staged those, I thought it was Trondheim or something like that, and we it was so many people. It was just when they played us on MTV. It was crowded, and the stage adults, they're three guys. Oh man, we have to do something new. Those Swedish fucks.
Yeah.
It was real fun.
I mean, yeah, competition must have been great. There were. I'm looking at this web page that lists out all these Swedish bands from back in the day, and it's at least 3 pages long. It's crazy the amount of bands that came out during that time from that area, like the Scandinavian countries. And let me tell the quality of them also was amazing. You had I always thought that Sweden had amazing quality in terms of the products that they released. Like every album is very polished, very good sounds very good. I don't know. I
Mm.
always
And
want.
there is that's because we always had to be better than the American bands.
Okay,
We
yeah.
must be better because they are bigger. They are got more what do you call? We oh, I'm lost for words now. But if we're gonna match up with a little budget, and then we gotta have better songs and better productions just to
Yeah, yeah.
show that we can be as good as well.
Yeah, maybe Americans bands have more media like presence, and so you had to win them over by delivering a better product.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because every rose has its.
and just from listening to what you guys did, there were a lot of American bands that you guys were uh, totally above musically, and they
Oh,
were getting
thanks.
obviously they were getting more attention, but And at some point, it just became more about, you know, the look and everything else over the music, and that was kind of sad about the scene. That kind of it's kind of what
Mm.
brought it down, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody started just
Well, you must have some good music to provide. Then you can put on your makeup, but you
yeah, yeah.
must have solid, good songs and unity and that
Yeah,
chicken
sure.
leg. Yeah, you must have that.
Yeah, of course. There's always going to be, whenever something gets popular, there's always going to be people that try to emulate it without having like the talent, or I don't know. They just want to. So the bandwagon kind of bands that maybe got try to copy the style to get famous, but they really didn't really have what it took to get there. There's always that, and there's also always the bands that really had it, that they didn't get the chance that a lot of bands did, and maybe they deserved it more in a way. I don't know if I'm tr- if
No,
I'm
no,
the
no, no.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know if it's necessarily the bands either. Sometimes the record companies would make the bands do certain things to fit in, and the bands
Yeah, the
got
band did like. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
so they're like, oh, we'll do anything we can
Hmm.
to get to the next level, and you know that's where I think a lot of it was getting bad because these record company guys didn't know shit about it, and they were just trying to push whatever off on that and I mean and that
No, absolutely. Hey, we wanted to be serious. Well, you ain't gonna be that. I ain't selling. And look at all those girls. Fuck the girls. We wanna be famous and with cool things like we're gonna do the new The Wall album.
yeah.
No,
And
you're gonna
you guys
pose
were
in
on
those Red Sox.
you guys were uh you guys were on a major label. Weren't you connected with CBS Records? Or
Yeah,
what?
but they didn't like us.
They did it.
Mm.
Okay,
No.
perfect. No, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm talking about. How the record companies,
Yeah.
what did they do for you guys? They did nothing, right? They didn't. Did they promote you guys? Did they put you out on tour? Did they? What did they do?
They try the hardest they could. We have a very, very small record company. Very small. So, but they tried the best, but we'll get drowned with everyone else.
Yeah,
That's a sad
yeah.
story.
It's said.
Because
Well,
if we had Sweden's or Europe's one of the biggest record companies on Cruel Intention,
hmm.
perhaps we got much bigger. Perhaps.
Well, I mean,
But as you
perhaps.
say, we were a little bit. The grunge was eating it away. All, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you of course you deserved a lot more of the of attention that you guys received, but you definitely had you definitely got famous when Cruel Intentions got released. I mean, I know a lot of people here that love you guys. I'm sure in America as well, and
Mhm.
definitely you guys definitely made an impression on the scene. It's not like
cool.
you're some forgotten band from back in the day in any way. I mean, and as you said, the festivals that you guys played when you came back, that shows that you definitely made an impression on people.
And then
Yeah.
another, you got it. What do you level like? What do you measure your level of success at? Like when you look at some, you were in a band, you were on a major
Hmm?
label, you had videos on MTV, you have fans, you have people that are talking about you guys. What 30 some years later? To
Hmm.
me, that's success. You guys did it. You may,
Yeah,
you may not have sold
Yeah,
out
yeah.
like certain bands, but you still succeeded.
Yeah, I'm here talking with you now. So yeah,
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
there's
Yeah,
some glamour to it.
of course. Yeah, you guys. And talking about glamour, you guys definitely had the look that required for this band, this type of sound.
I'd
Yeah.
agree on
Oh,
that.
I thought it was only me. Yeah, we try to look the shit.
How much Aquanet did you guys use?
Well, yeah. so, so, did you guys ever try to get into Eurovision or any of those types of of shows?
No, not at all. I really I made a song that was perfect for it, but then nah, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's a different crowd for sure. But yeah, I find it funny how that show mixes like that competition mixes a lot of stuff. The whole different bands. Like I think Wigwam won that competition, right?
Yeah, they
A
did.
few
Yeah,
years ago. Yeah.
and we got Lordy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I've never been a fan of Florida, but yeah. Um. All right. Uh, in in 2013, you left the band. In January, right? The beginning of 2013. What was the reason you decided to? Were you tired of playing? You wanted to try something else, or what happened there?
No, the thing was we released the California album,
Hmm.
and then the trend was going down again. And Andy, the only one who didn't have everybody else had a family, not him. He wanted to tour in Italy, no, in Germany. And what play? Where are you going to play? And some cool places. Oh yeah. So I saw what places it was. It was Bear Hawks and stuff. That's a place where they had 50 people and something like that. I said,
Oh,
oh
okay,
no,
yeah.
I don't want to do this. Please, let's have ourselves on the internet and make up things there, not touring those places. No, it's going to demand. It
Yeah.
ain't going to be good for us. And he listen, without a family, just want to party all day long. So okay, so you don't want to be do this? Nope. Okay.
Right.
And then some weeks ago, he said that I'm quitting the band. I wasn't. It was all a lie.
Oh,
Hmm. Wow.
wow. Yeah.
So he could tour, and they took in another bassist, and they played one gig, and everybody were sick.
Hmm.
So no, after that, the Nasty Idols was demolished and finished
Now,
because nobody wanted to see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
when Andy passed, were you guys on good terms? Were you
No, no, no.
not at all?
He lied to me about
Yeah.
that.
Right.
Wow.
So no,
Yeah.
just so
That
he can party and
yeah.
things like that. So no, he just said that I was quitting the band, which I wasn't. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be kind of hard looking back at that now, knowing that you guys put in so much time together, and then at the very end you had that moment.
Raj,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
Yeah. You wanted to retire gracefully, I guess, without harming the legacy of the band. I think that totally makes sense. It's what I would do in your situation, I guess.
hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too sad. So yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah. Uh, I don't think uh, the legacy of the band got harmed anyway. I don't know. I think when people look back at the Nasty Isles career, I only see great things. That's what I'm trying to say. I only see
yeah,
good
yeah,
things.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every band clashes. Every band. Look at Nicky Six and Vince Neil. They're on stage now. They don't
Yeah.
like each other.
Definitely
So
not. Yeah, yeah. There's many millions of dollars at stake there.
the longest farewell tour ever.
I,
10 years.
yeah, I
Well, I
can
don't
be.
know. I think Kiss might have that beat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kiss.
definitely. Yeah. I mean, I can be your friend if for $1 million, if that's what it takes. I can bear bear with you for a few $1 million.
Did you? I just saw that Kiss played like a private party. Can you
Oh,
imagine?
really?
Oh,
Can you
Yeah,
can you imagine negotiating with Gene on that?
I mean, I can't.
You guys got to play my kid's birthday party. How much is it going to cost us?
I
yeah.
can't imagine, like, yeah, the sheer amount of money that must have cost. Yeah. That's
I'm sure not. The three of us together probably couldn't afford that bill.
well, not by a mile. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a.
Oh, gee, we just want you to play one song. Detroit Rock City. All right, that's 5 millions.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for that amount of money, I don't know, but I don't know if I would play. If it was my band, I don't know if I would like do like, I don't know, private the band like that. It's like, I don't know. It's like, hey, we do bar mitzvahs, weddings, and I don't know. It's weird. How can you go from promoting yourself as the hottest band in the world and then playing like,
They play like a backyard party.
yeah, right.
So now it's Friday. After the Sabbath, we're gonna hear some Kiss for you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Paul Stanley's banter on that one?
Yeah, here's Detroit York City, which you can buy if you buy the Kiss Alive album or whatever he says on every show. I saw them. So last time
Barbecue chicken.
last time I saw them, I saw them in 2012, I think, and I saw them on 2008 and 2012. On both shows, they said Paul Stanley said exactly the same jokes, like word
Yeah,
by word. He didn't change them at all.
dude, I don't think he's changed it since the '70s, man.
Right?
He's been doing the.
Yeah. I mean, they got it down to a science. I applaud them for that. I mean, it's a
They,
product. It's a
they got it.
product, and yeah, it's a product, and they deliver it. I mean,
They deliver it.
yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
Did you ever like a Sweet from England as a Kiss? Uh,
As a quiz,
the Sweet, the band,
yeah,
Wee Wham Bam.
yeah.
Those were my
I like
idols.
that.
I never got the
Yeah.
Kiss album. I got the Sweet album. Uh, what it's called? Fanny? No, not Fanny Adams. Give Us a Wink. That was
Mm-hmm.
my high price. That when I became, I must be a rock star.
Yeah, I love the Sweet. I love the Sweet, and
Yeah, they're great.
they've influenced a lot of bands. I think they made quite a mark on the rock scene
They're
in
a big.
general.
They're they're big on the glam scene. They were a big.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Rock group.
everyone did "Fox on the Run." Like every band had a cover of
Oh yeah.
that.
Yep.
Uh, Everyone, Blitz, Ballroom Blitz as well. I mean, it's everywhere.
Action. A lot of bands did action too.
Action,
A
yeah.
lot of bands.
Absolutely. Yeah, Def Leppard.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, yeah, of course,
Def
of course.
Leppard
Yeah.
and yeah, I was just listening to another one too, and I can't remember who it was. I'd have to go back and check that out. But there was I heard actually a couple more versions of it. I don't think it was
Yeah, you
Keel.
did. Yeah, didn't Mötley Crüe do a Sweet song? No,
They
no,
must
no.
have. They must have.
I'm
At some
sure they
point, they
probably
must
did.
have.
I know they
Yeah.
did. I know they did Sex Pistols and trying to
Yeah,
think.
yeah, 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 yeah.
They must have.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely a lot of bands covered Sweet. A lot of bands.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, Sweet were, like I said, a big part of that whole thing, along with T Rex and obviously the New York Dolls too. But I mean, it's just it's pretty awesome to see how the whole thing just evolves. I mean, and I always go back and I always watch like classic documentaries and stuff, and I look back, especially at the older music and how it was all done. And when I see like even early Alice Cooper to to a certain extent was the same thing. And I mean, it's great to go back and look at that, and everything was so
Yeah, it
new
is. It is.
and so amazing, and just how it evolved through the late '70s into the '80s, and and how it just took off in the '80s. So many bands were, you know, doing that whole glam thing, and
So
it's I mean,
which band would you say was the first band that kick-started that in Sweden back in the day? Was it Europe or who was it?
Mm, Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
those
But
first.
we had a cool band who wasn't that big, but I knew it. It was called Tears. It was a Swedish
Okay.
Finnish band
Okay.
who I
And
really adored. They was so cool. A real glam rock and hard glam rock.
yeah.
They were called Tears.
Tears. Yeah,
Okay.
Tears. So
Okay.
so sign on Tears Casablanca Friend. It's really
Okay.
cool.
I'm looking them up. Oh, okay. Yeah. They released an album in 74, 1974.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was 8 years old and I got
Okay.
it.
That was
I
like
got
the
I
album
got
that.
that and Sweet Gives Wings. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
And
Nice.
then never mind the bollocks came. And the things would never be the same again.
Yeah, sure. It's crazy because Sex Pistols is such an influential band, like a turning point for a lot of people, and they only released one album.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like how they. I mean,
Well, you got to
it
look
makes
at
perfect sense.
what
Also,
they were, man. They were a product of Malcolm McLaren. I mean, they were basically a boy band put together by one guy. So that's why they
yeah,
kind of fell apart. I mean, it's
but they also were like so destructive. Like
oh,
I don't know.
they were, and I
Yeah,
think that was part of. I think that was part of the gimmick. Uh, I, I mean, I hate to call the Sex Pistols a gimmick band, but they kind of were. Um,
I guess.
I know, like uh, Andy Taylor and what's his name? Steve Jones did stuff together. Andy Taylor from Duran Duran and Steve Jones. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
more. That was more AOR, more like AOR glam stuff.
Well, Steve Jones morphed into a more 80s hard rock style after
Hmm.
he left the Sex Pistols. And what's the name of the other guy from Sex Pistols?
Johnny Rotten,
No,
uh,
the
Glenn Matlock, the bassist, Sid Vicious.
no. Well,
Paul
I don't know.
Cook.
No, no. I meant Johnny Rotten. Yeah. So he also
Yeah. No,
went to more fame, I would say, after Sex with the Public Limited.
Image
That
Limited.
the stuff
yeah.
that's really yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And
That's really good
that was
stuff.
more
This
like
is not a love song. This is not a love song. Oh, I hated that shit.
And yeah, they definitely made some airwaves back in the day, and I mean, you could say
yeah.
it's the biggest punk band ever, in a way. I mean, everyone knows the Sex Pistols.
But
Uh,
that was the marketing, and that was the power of
well, everyone knows the Sex Pistols, but not everyone can tell you a song by the Sex Pistols. I find that funny because I don't know. For example, my mom knows the Sex Pistols, right? Like but she couldn't tell you one song by them. But she's just like, oh, what are those guys, the Sex Pistols? Like when she sees a band that we host on the show or something, like someone that looks like aggressive and punk rock. She's who are those, the Sex Pistols, right? And but she doesn't know a song about them. So yeah, it's definitely the marketing because everyone
Yeah,
knows that, but yeah.
Malcolm McLaren, man, he was a genius when it came to that, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, he
We
brought.
all we played it to I got my punk roots, so every time when hey, what are we gonna play some other bands' songs in the set? And I always say, I wanna have Pistols, so I chose Holidays in the Sun, and we
Yeah.
always also recorded Dead Kennedys, Too Drunk to Fuck. So we always got that because I
Oh
want
yeah.
that punky vibes to the Idols because that's our heritage.
I just listened to
Before
that
Jiggles on
song.
Parole.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard your version of that song yesterday. It was on a greatest hits album you guys released, and it's really good, really good cover version.
Thanks.
Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, you were talking about how I don't know Tears is bands that deserve more. I don't. It reminds me of Slade, for example. It's a band that had such a big impact on the scene, like in the glam scene, but
Mm.
never got the respect or the acknowledgement that they deserve. I think. I mean, if
Our
it wasn't,
Slade were big. They were big in England.
yeah,
They were
definitely, yeah.
top on top of the pops and things like that. And then they had a reunion with Run Away.
Oh yeah,
And that was yeah, yeah,
Runaway. Yeah, yeah. It was
yeah,
Kamikaze Syndrome, something like that. I think the album.
yeah.
Yeah, Unstoppable Kamikaze Syndrome. Yeah, that's the name of the album. I think. Yeah, I mean, I love Slade. It's a great band, but I think they were always like a V level in terms of fame,
Yeah,
and
absolutely, absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. The Sweet were the top of the notch.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
I didn't know of Slade until Quiet Riot, so
See, yeah, yeah.
that,
Well,
that's where my knowledge of Slade came from.
I
So
mean, and that was the case in America. I mean, they never got the recognition outside of Europe. I think that they deserve. Like,
That's why I asked if you knew the Sweet because
no, yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
seen anything that they were touring in America. They were an all Europe band, Sweet. So
yeah. And that reminds me, when I was younger, I remember when I first heard of the Sweet, it was with a newspaper ad that talked about them and their songs or whatever, and it was titled "The Return of Gay Rock." I was, and they had a picture of them that let's be honest, they look pretty gay in a way, but I always find that funny. I was gay rock. What is this? And, and then I saw but I love the music. I searched the stuff and I love the music. So, but I always find that funny because first impressions always are so important, and I always hated that ad because of that title because a lot of people read that and thought, what is this stupid stuff?
Gay
But
rock.
yeah, gay.
You have seen my solo picture on Jiggles and Parole. Now that's gay rock for you. Rose
Nah,
thing.
I don't agree. I don't agree with the statement that newspapers that newspaper said. I don't know. Back in the day, it was I guess it was the way that some people looked at it, but yeah, I never understood that either because the glam bands were the ones getting all the chicks, while the heavier bands were the ones that couldn't get laid. So I don't know why. Maybe it was envy or something like that.
The thing was, when we started the Nasty House, I always wanted to go a little bit further. Not, perhaps not like Slipknot, but more like Marley Manson.
Okay.
because I like the theatrical aspect of the rock scene. And I did, no, we can't do that. We ain't going to get any chicks. So fine, we're just gonna do a cool show, but it's stuck with the glam and sleaze thing. But I always want to be a little bit more at that, yeah, more horror.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Like Alice Cooper.
Yeah, something more like Marty Manson, not
yeah.
Slipknot, because I can't wear a face mask on the
Magic,
gig.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
I could,
there's been a revival like Wednesday 13, the Murder Dolls. There's quite a few
Yeah,
bands
they
in that
got that
style.
horror punk horror stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
yeah.
cool. That's pretty cool. I like that. Well, I mean, you can still do it. Would you be up for making a new band in the future, like in that style? Would you think it's something that may interest you?
No, my contribution to the world now is only illustrations.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, that's good too. That's good too. I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool too. I'm gonna look for up for that. If you can send me some links to that, I will definitely take a look
Absolutely.
and
Well, I
we
have
pro.
it on Facebook. Just roll the shit.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I'll promote that on our site, on our page. I'll add a few links on YouTube as well when we release the episode. Um, all right, so we always like to wrap up the episodes with a little top three favorite albums of all time. So I'm gonna put you on the spot, and I'm gonna ask you what would you say are your most influential albums of all time? Your three most influential albums of all time, or bands. It doesn't have to be albums specifically. You can also list bands, but whatever comes to your mind.
Mm.
I think I already know where this is going, but I'm just gonna let you
Yeah.
answer.
I said the sweet gives a wink.
Okay, yeah, makes
Mhm.
sense.
ABBA.
Okay,
ABBA.
I didn't expect that. Okay.
No, I'm a biggest ABBA fan ever. If you listen to ABBA, they got great rock songs and real hard rock songs as well. They do.
I mean,
I know they. I know
Uh,
they got some great bass lines.
they definitely had amazing melodies, and they had a talent that is undescribable talent for crafting a song. I mean, those songs. I don't think there's no one in the world that hasn't heard an ABBA song.
no, absolutely. And the third, well, this is going to be cheesy, but I say Nasty Idols, Cruel Intention, 1991.
Well, yeah,
Can I
great
say that?
album.
Can I be
You
that obvious?
you can say that.
There was
We'll allow
nothing
it.
wrong with that.
We'll allow it. You can say
You,
it.
you
Yeah.
deserve to pat yourself on the back for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. No, but I definitely can hear you mentioned also the Sex Pistols. I can definitely see those influences coming alive on your music. Even the ABBA,
Absolutely.
yeah, even the ABBA influence. I can see that. I can see a melodic approach. You guys, you could, I mean, you could be punks, you can rock out, but you also have a sensitive side, right? A more melodic side to it. So you definitely had the best of both worlds, I would say.
Hmm. I'm, 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 I'm gonna send some the hard rockest ABBA songs to your Facebook site on the
Okay,
yeah. So you're gonna,
okay.
oh, now I know what he's talking about because they ain't famous. They ain't. This is
Yeah.
real good metal stuff.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, definitely. I think I remember a cover album, a tribute album, like Swedish metal goes ABBA or something like that, goes pop a few years ago. I don't. I think I recall an album like that coming out. That they
Yeah.
some Swedish hard rock bands covering like ABBA songs and stuff like that.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. You have to
Yeah,
send that to me.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. I think it was Swedish Stars Goes. I don't know, something like that. I'll look it up. I'll look it up and I'll send it over. All right. Okay, so Dick, I mean, it's been a
Yeah.
real pleasure talking with you. We had a great time.
Definitely.
You were great. We love talking with you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you
I have a
for
great time myself. So
Yeah,
we
thank you
do
for
this
yeah.
every Saturday.
Oh, we could. I mean, we could talk about music for hours. I think, and
yeah, we
we
could.
had in a way, we did in a way. So yeah, I will definitely be waiting for those ABBA songs.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I'm gonna send it over right now.
okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. So okay, so you're a friend of the show. So whenever you want to come back and promote your illustrations, your books, or whatever you want to promote, you're always welcome.
And we'll promote that stuff for
Thanks.
you on
Thanks.
social media as well. So
Yeah,
you're
Cool.
always
definitely.
Cool.
welcome on there.
Definitely. All right. All
I
right.
hey, Dick,
Yeah.
I just sent you a friend request too. So if you could look out for that, so then I can put all your stuff on my social media as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
We do that, Dave.
Cool.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. Awesome.
Dave
All right.
Melgren har skickat en vänsterfrågan till dig. Will you accept? I do it right now.
All right. Hey,
Accept.
you said my name right.
You are friends now. We are related now.
Hey, hey, sometimes I get drunk and I send weird messages. If you choose to ignore them, that's fine, but that's up to you. Hey, you respond. Hey, I'm not responsible for anything that happens after you respond. So
Well, yeah, as long it's not your penis, I think he will be okay with
yeah, no, I don't do that.
it.
Well,
I don't go that
Okay.
crazy.
super.
All right. All right. Thanks a lot for being on the show, Dick.
Thank you, Dick.
Thanks, Dave. Santi, it's been a blast. See ya.
Awesome.
See ya.
Talk to you
Talk to you
later.
soon. Talk to you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Same.